Dubbed the Olympics of Music, Eurovision kicks off today in Vienna. Representatives from 35 countries will be participating in this year's song competition. The annual contest is marking its 70th anniversary under the shadow of some controversy. Israel's participation in the contest has marked major protests across Europe. 5 countries are boycotting the event in protest of the war in Gaza. Joining me live now from Vienna is William Lee Adams. He's the author of Wild Dances, My Queer and Curious Journey to Eurovision. William, thank you so much for being with us. I mean, this is not the first time that people have sort of been up in arms about Israel's participation in this particular competition. However, the fact that now you have five countries saying that they are not participating, including Iceland, Ireland, a number of countries that usually do participate, that is quite a problem for the organizers. Just give us your take on the fact that tensions have risen this high this time.
Indeed. You know, the slogan of Eurovision is united by music, but the world is more divided than ever. And because Eurovision is a microcosm of Europe and the world, those tensions do bleed into the contest. The withdrawal of those 5 countries that you mentioned there, Spain, the Netherlands, Ireland, Slovenia, and Iceland, these are long-standing members of the Eurovision family. They're stalwarts, and they're also financial contributors. Having them leave the contest, it doesn't exactly bolster the image of Eurovision. However, at the same time, we have smaller countries returning to the competition this year: Romania, Moldova, and Bulgaria. So 5 are out, 3 are back in, so it's a loss of 2. But of course, organizers of Eurovision would prefer if everyone just stayed consistently and there was no in and no out.
I'm sure they would. You know, this is not the first time there's been sort of political controversies that have overshadowed the competition. I mean, obviously, it's very difficult to sort of separate politics from the Eurovision Song Contest back in 2022. I'm sure a lot of the Eurovision fans that are watching remember that Russia was actually expelled because of the fact that they had just invaded Ukraine. And then that was the year that Ukraine actually won. And so it is virtually impossible, it seems to me, and I'm sure the organizers have found this, to really separate the competition and make it truly about a celebration of music and spectacle and culture and separate it from politics.
You're absolutely right. And I think this is the inherent nature of art. Art is born of the times. So artists take influences from what's happening in the news, from what they read, what they listen to. The case with Ukraine in 2022 is really interesting because that song was actually chosen well before Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine. It was called Stefania, and the singer was singing about his mother and how she nurtured him and took care of him. But then a few weeks later, Russia did invade Ukraine, full-scale invasion. And the song took on a whole new meaning. People said this is about Mother Ukraine protecting its people. On stage, on the LED, you had 2 teary eyes, and the floor had arms that seemed to cup the singers to protect them. And it took on a political meaning, but that's not what it was intended to initially when he wrote it.
And just in terms of, I mean, the Israeli singer at the heart of all this is Noam Betam, who is singing a song, Michelle. I wonder what it must be like for such a young singer. I understand he's 28 years old. Such a young singer having to, this applies to, by the way, to all the Eurovision Song Contest singers, because you are carrying the hopes and the dreams of your entire country on your shoulders. But for the Israeli singer, you are also the symbol of a lot of people's hostility because of your government's choices, which, of course, by the way, have absolutely nothing to do with you individually. So, I mean, what is he feeling right now?
I really pick up on the word symbol that you use there, because at Eurovision, you don't vote for Jessica or Paul. You vote for the flag, the nation, Spain, Italy, Moldova. So you're right, the singer does become this big symbol, and that carries so much weight. I think the pressure that all the contestants feel will be more intense for the Israeli singer. In the past 2 editions of Eurovision, the first 2 to take place since the war in Gaza, you've seen, or heard rather, the audience booing. There have been boos in the arena. I remember distinctly being at the Eurovision final in 2024 in Malmö, Sweden, and when the Israeli contestant performed, security guards, officers came out from every single entrance in the arena, and the crowd was jeering. Now, at the same time, other audience members were cheering, and so you had this back and forth of overt support and really overt disdain. People wanted to make a message. So to walk into that fire on what may be the biggest night of your life, that's huge. That's huge. There's so much pressure there. I think one thing that may work in Noam's favor, the Israeli contestant, is that his song cannot be interpreted as political. The past two entries have, to many people, carried a political undertone. In fact, in 2024, the EBU asked Israel to rewrite the lyrics to its song, which was initially called October Rain. People took that as a direct reference to the October 7th attacks. It was later renamed Hurricane. So the song about perseverance became a bit more generic. It wasn't about overcoming a national tragedy. The song Hurricane could be about a bad relationship even. It could be about, difficult relations with your family. But Noam, his song Michelle, this is about, romance, tortured romance, about a toxic relationship. He stands inside a big ring, it's got glass and mirrors. And it's very hard to interpret that in any political way. It seems like he's singing of heartache and romance. So that may go a long way in dampening the crowd's potentially negative reaction.
Yeah, because they can't be political. And I was up last night I listened to the Swedish entry, Felicia, My System, and also Arcade by Duncan Lawrence. Just quickly before we go, who are you most excited about, if you're allowed to say?
Oh, there's so much joy this year, but Finland is one I have to cite. This is a duo, Pete Parkkinen and Linda Lampinius. She's a 50-something world-famous violinist. He is a rather attractive, muscle-bound 30-something, and it's about his desire to be with her, but her sort of rebuffing him. It's called a flamethrower, and she says, yes, I'm really warm to people, but then they get too close and I turn to ice. He will be chasing her on the stage. She'll be stringing those strings, and there is fire. Not just literal fire, which there is, but also the passion between two people. And then I've got to shout out to Greece. Greece is like living a video game. It's got a 1980s 8-bit sound. The character, the singer, wears kitty cat ears, and he is on the prowl, working the runway. It changes every 15 seconds, like it's a social media story. It grabs your attention. I think you're going to want to watch out for that one.
Yeah, it is beautiful and ridiculous, the Eurovision. That's why we love it. But it has launched a lot of careers, including ABBA and Celine Dion. So it is weighty as well. All right, William Lee Adams, thank you so much. We'll be right back with more after this short break.